Welcome to another episode 2 of Hollywood at Night. I'm your host, Hollywood AJ. This is my co-host, the one, the only, Allie.
What's up,
Allie,
guys?
what'd you do this past weekend?
Oh
How's it
my
going?
God. Boring weekend. I'm telling you. I wish I could say I went out, I did so much stuff. Nope, I put up my Christmas tree with my kids and we stayed in, played video games all day today. So it's raining here, so
It-
we were inside all day. Yeah.
it's raining here too, and I forgot to mention it's Turkey Week.
Yep.
Thanksgiving, everybody out there that celebrates it.
Yep.
Hope you all get fat, eat well. It's gonna be fun.
Remember, calories do not count
Exactly.
until the new year. So,
Exactly. That's when everybody's New Year's resolution starts. It's
yep.
absolutely insane. Me, I took the kiddos to the Great Wolf Lodge. That was fun.
Love
Ball,
it. Now,
ball, ball of
for
stress.
everybody who doesn't know what the Great Wolf Lodge is, you got to explain because it is fun.
It is basically a giant water park mixed with the hotel.
Yep.
And there's all kinds of fun activities you could take your children to do. And yeah, it's just a blast, especially if you have very active kids. My kids, giant balls of stress because they're just go, 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 go,
Yeah.
nonstop, full stop. So your boy's tired. Your boy's tired, but I'm not too tired to talk about the reason why everybody clicked on this video, and
Yep.
that is the David case, David, D4VD, D4VD, however you want to call it. We are going to be talking about it. But before we talk about it, because this is some crazy shit,
Put it on. We have some
I
investigating to do.
we got some investigating to do, Allie. I got the glasses. I got the Sherlock Holmes hat. That does not fit me. I even got the smoke crack pipe, if you want to call it that. There's nothing in it though. If the audience can see, there's nothing in it. I wish there was. But if you're at home, grab a coffee, grab some popcorn, grab a tea. If you're listening at work, save this for the break. We're gonna dive right into this.
Yep.
Ellie, take off, girl.
All right, let's talk about it. Now, I know that anybody who is into true crime, even if you're not into true crime, there is no way that you have not heard about this case, seen this case. If you have not, though, even if you have, we kind of want to go through a timeline first. A lot of new stuff is starting to come out. A lot of
Definitely the
tea.
most recent, right?
Yes, a lot of actually a news article just came out today before we started recording this. So for anybody who wants to know, we're actually recording this on Sunday the 23rd. So article came out today that we'll go ahead and go over, which is going to be from TMZ. So we'll let you guys know, maybe post our resources or sources that we kind of uncover here in a second. But I do want to talk about kind of the story behind what we're going to be talking about and why we are talking about this really fast. Okay.
Go right ahead.
All right.
Before I just have one question before you dive into it.
Yeah.
From the videos I've heard, the numerous videos, everyone is finding it disturbing, creepy, disturbing. I'm one of those people that subscribes to that narrative. But
Yeah.
what do you find mostly disturbing about this case? What is it about the David case that just chills your bones whenever the story circles around in your life, no matter what?
There's two things. The age of this beautiful girl, Celeste, who went missing. The age is a big thing for me. People, we were actually just talking about this before we started the show.
Yeah.
Young girls, 13, 14-year-old girls, even up to age 16, they don't look their age.
Mm-mm.
They don't even, act their age sometimes, especially maybe the time that we grew up in. Again, no blame on her. She is the victim 100%. But and people need to realize that this is a child. This was a child. So that's number one. And then second is a timeline that there's zero evidence of anything. And you're talking about a generation who is constantly online. Everything is documented online, and we have about a year's worth of a timeline that it's just went black. It's just blank. So those are the two things for me specifically.
All right. Well, let's get into it with the timeline. I'll let you take off now, girl.
All right, let's go and talk about it. So September 8th, 2025, there was a decomposing body of a 14-year-old girl, 14 years old. Everybody, please keep that in mind. Was found in an abandoned slash impounded Tesla trunk. I think they also call it a frunk, but everybody's calling it
Yeah.
a trunk. So
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Teslas, as crazy as they are, their trunks are not in the back. They're literally in the
In the
front.
front. Yes. So I'm gonna refer to it as a trunk.
Yep,
Please just bear with me. It's also called a frunk, okay?
believe so.
So this specific Tesla was registered to a David Anthony Burke, also known as David. He spells his name D4VD. This also would be revealed later to be the body of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. This is the 14-year-old girl. Now, she would have turned 15 the day prior on September 7th, so she died at 14 years old. Now, I did get my source right now from Wikipedia, and the reason I'm going to state that right now is because Wikipedia is ever changing. So this specific, I did kind of cross-reference and stuff like that. So this is correct, okay?
All right.
But this discovery did come after LAPD was called by a tow yard worker to investigate a foul odor emanating from the Tesla. The car had been parked on Bluebird Avenue in the Hollywood Hills as early as August 2025. Very important information to kind of keep in mind. On September 3rd, the vehicle was cited for violating the 72-hour parking ordinance and impounded and towed to a Hollywood tow yard 2 days later. On September 16th, 2025, the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner identified the body as that of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, and she was from Lake Elsinore in Riverside County. Now, the LAPD did confirm that the vehicle was ticketed 11 days before the body was found and strongly suggested that she was deceased in the trunk for the entire period the car was abandoned, which is very important to
Mhm.
remember. And we're going to go through timelines here in a second. We'll try to keep it as organized as possible, but
Yeah,
AJ,
because not to cut you off, but
no, go ahead.
the timeline is probably the most important thing in this
Hmm.
case. That I feel like if you really want to make sense out of how she passed away, when she passed away, you really need to understand the timeline, and it's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, and we were just talking about it, prior to starting, talking about this, recording. But this was a timeline that's going to be kind of jumping all over the place. When we were doing research for this, it actually made our head hurt a little bit. So we'll try to condense it as much as we possibly can for you guys, but kind of, stick with it if you
Yeah,
can, okay? And then
yeah,
we'll put our show notes and everything so they can
yeah,
follow
yeah,
along too. So
absolutely.
let's go through the timeline. That's just the basic synopsis of the story. When it hit the news cycle,
Yeah,
this is what was being reported,
and if
okay?
I'm being honest, I had no idea who David was.
Neither did I.
The fact that he was like not even looked at as a suspect, I think, okay, whatever. But I think more people were like going to the internet to really see who is this David guy. He apparently opened for Billie Eilish. He opened for numerous of well-known artists in our
Yeah.
industry of our time. I'd never heard of him. Apparently, he
Yeah.
made his entire fame off of TikTok, like everybody else does these days.
Hmm.
So it's not like he was like a Kendrick Lamar type of
You're
figure
right.
of that fame
Right.
committing the crime. So I I think it makes it more interesting the fact that a rapper who is well known but isn't well known,
Yeah.
quote unquote, did this type of crime, allegedly did this type of crime. So
Right. Right. And then and honestly, maybe he was very well known because again, he got to start on TikTok. Maybe he was very well known to people, kids, maybe somebody who was younger than
possibly,
us. We don't
possibly,
know.
yeah,
Again, which is why the blackout dates or what we're calling it from September 2024 to September 25 is so
yeah,
strange
yeah,
because everything about this man's life was on TikTok and
yeah,
on Instagram. So we'll
absolutely.
talk about that here in a second.
Let's get into it.
All right, so let's go over the timeline real fast. These are just going to be bullet points, okay? So July 29th, 2025, David's Tesla, excuse me, abandoned in the Hollywood Hills on Bluebird Avenue around the same time he started his tour. He was going on a full worldwide wide tour around this time, okay?
And
Um,
that before we go ahead, not to jump too far ahead, that's
yeah,
kind of the perfect alibi. It
right.
really is because he didn't even stop his tour.
Yeah.
So, but go ahead.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah. August 26, 2025, the Tesla is reported as abandoned after receiving multiple tickets. Now, guys, mind you, this is Hollywood Hills. This is not just some, flyover Midwest town that we're talking about where cars are all over the place. This is a very well-known, established area of Hollywood where you can't just park your car and think that nobody's gonna tow it or look into it or anything like that. They keep their streets clean of this type of stuff. So
It's in an expensive area, you know.
very expensive area.
And my not only that, but people walk their dogs, people jog around that area, people just go on random walks.
Yeah.
So let's just say, for the sake of argument, Celeste's body was in there because there is no evidence to say that there was a body in the trunk
Yeah.
at that time. So let's just say her body was in there. Who's to say that they did not smell that? It's still sitting in the hot LA sun. How did nobody smell that? And how did nobody report it sooner if they did that? If they
Yeah.
did smell that? You know what I mean?
Before it gets towed, I think if I'm not mistaken, it was 11 days from the
11
time
days.
that it was parked to the time that it was, taken to the tow yard. And the reason that it was reported in the first place was because of the odor. People always talk about in true crime about the smell of a decomposing body. It's something that even a decomposing animal is still not going to smell like a decomposing human body,
Right, right.
which is wild. So all these people jogging, walking their dog, reporting it. There have been reports that people were reporting this car as abandoned to LAPD.
But they just
Um,
towed it because it was there. They didn't tow it because of the stench, right?
there was zero stench that anybody reported until the
Wow.
tow yard. So,
Okay.
and we'll talk about kind of maybe our thoughts on that, why that was here in a little bit.
All right.
So that was August 26, 2025. Now, September 5th, 2025, the Tesla is towed to an impound lot. 3 days later, September 8th, 2025, the body of Celeste is discovered.
Yeah.
Now, the day Celeste was found, so we're talking about September 8th, 2025, David was on tour and he was traveling from Madison, Wisconsin to Minneapolis, Minnesota. At this time, when this first exploded, when this first was coming out, um, law enforcement came out and said that he was cooperating. And
Yeah.
then now reports are stating that he's never cooperated. So I don't know what to make of that. I don't
Mm,
know. But when everybody was going ballistic over this, I bet you anything LAPD was being called constantly and they were like,
mm,
"Oh yeah, he's fine. He's cooperating." Okay, was he cooperating or was he not? Because we're getting two different reports here. So
mm-hmm.
so that was it. So September 8th, 2025, that is the day, which was a day after her 15th birthday on September 27th. It was the day after that she was discovered. So timeline
Absolutely.
wise, she passed away when she was 14 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's insane. Absolutely insane. So then here, you kind of got to go back in the sense that there was so much evidence of where Celeste was, how they met, what type of relationship that David and Celeste had, because obviously all the internet sleuths are trying to solve this case, as are we. So we're really, this is now when everything's starting to hit the fan. And shout out to Pat CC, who, if you aren't subscribed to his channel, you should subscribe to him because he made a very well detailed video on the entire saga of this case, when they met, how they met, Discord chats, and everything like that, which we are about to get into. So, yeah, it's weird. It is extremely weird. And I find it interesting that the fact that he was cooperating at first, but I feel
Hmm.
like now, as the evidence was kind of mounting towards him, his legal team probably told him, all right, you should probably stay off the internet for a long time
Yeah.
until you get this figured out. I don't really want to spoil the new details for our audience, but what do you make of that? Do you think that the heat was turning up on David so much? Because already people were naming David as a suspect, even when the police were not naming him as a suspect already. So, what are your thoughts on that?
In my opinion, just like the last case we talked about, in my opinion, going to trial, you have to have, for lack of a better word, a smoking gun. There has to be a type of evidence that's going to take this from possibly guilty to guilty. Now, with David, I think that he would have been questioned regardless, even if her body wasn't found in his car because of the ties that they had. Um, it was found in his car. This car was registered in his name.
Yeah,
I don't, if you have a manager, if you have parents, if you have
yeah,
a lawyer, they're going to tell you cooperate as much as you can unless you
but
did
that's
this.
Well, true, but that's also what made David a suspect in the public eye.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of similar to the OJ case where there's all this evidence favoring OJ. Well, he did it. There's no
Yeah.
ifs, ands, or buts about it. You don't need to go to, you know, you don't need to go to school to be a police detective to understand what's happening. I know there's other moving parts, I'm sure, but at the same time, that's what made him a suspect was the fact that that Tesla was in David's name, and
Yeah.
who knows why that was.
And put that in perspective. Let's say that you're driving around with a body in your car that you know nothing about. You don't know how it got in there. Like you're still, it's your car. You are going to be questioned. You better cooperate. You better get a lawyer. Like this is the stuff that's just whether you're innocent or guilty. These are the steps that you have to take.
Yeah.
Now it's different if his because he actually hired a high profile defense attorney.
Mm-hmm.
Um, who's probably telling him what to do. So you can't
For
just think,
sure.
oh, David's doing this or David's doing this. He's
He
probably taking advice from his lawyer,
he
honestly.
has lawyers in his ear. He has agents in his ear, managers in his ear.
Yeah.
It's very crunch time for him in the sense
Hmm.
that, especially because now he is officially named a suspect. Basically, it's like a fork in the kitchen type post.
Yeah.
Like that's how obvious it was.
Yeah.
Unless you weren't keeping up with the case, you knew from day one he was a suspect.
Yeah. And I mean, and so we can say that because we are not law enforcement. We can say that because we are not judge and jury. We are just people on the internet. And we can say this, hey, hello, red flags, like a billion red flags everywhere.
Yeah, but
David's your guy.
the cops can come. The cops can come now. What are they gonna do? They ain't
Yeah.
gonna do that. They,
We're gonna say it, okay?
yeah, yeah.
I think
Come
David is
do some.
guilty.
But
Again, I'm not on the jury. I think he's guilty. So,
I do
and
too.
honestly, I'm gonna have probably maybe a little bit of a spicy take too, because we're gonna go through a little bit of, current timelines that's happening right now.
Well, look.
And honestly, his defense might have a case, and we'll go over that here in a second.
Well,
But
let's
don't
get
shoot the messenger, please, okay?
let's get into that. On February 14th, 2024, so more almost 2 years ago, Celeste was reported missing in Lake Elsinore, California. She was 13 at that time. After releasing a missing persons poster and Facebook posts, the PI hired by her parents, Steve Fisher, stated, which is the private investigator, Celeste's mother somehow found that she was with David and emailed his manager. Although this email has never been released, which is insane to think.
Suspicious.
That's so weird. Why?
Hmm.
I got to read that again to make sure I read that right. PI hired by the family, Steve Fisher, stated that Celeste's mother somehow found out that she was with David and emailed his manager, although this email was never released. So, all right.
So basically, again, let's put it into
I'll
perspective.
let you speak. I'll let you speak on it first. Then I'll weigh my opinion.
So just for reference, Celeste was technically a serial runaway during this time, okay? Before February 14th, so Valentine's Day 2024, she was never reported missing.
And
Then,
let me add, 6 days later, on February 20th, 2024, Celeste returned home.
mhm. So basically what they were saying, when we were doing this research, again, shout out to Pat CC, um, David's manager basically said, that, or not, sorry, David's, or no, the family's private investigator, PI, stated that the PI was hired by the family to find Celeste. Okay, so she's missing. Now, let's put that into perspective too. We're both parents.
Yeah.
Kid is missing for 6 days. I would be raising hell,
Well,
which sounds like that's exactly what they did. They hired a private
yeah.
investigator.
But at the same time, they got a hold of David's manager.
Hmm.
It sounds to me that David, and this is a rumor. I don't know if it was confirmed, but it sounds to me that David paid off the family as quote unquote hush money, date money, to be like, yeah, I'm dating your daughter. Here's like $450,000 for you to leave us alone.
And it was reported that he actually has done that one other time. So we don't know.
Hell,
We
hell
don't
no.
know. And
But
that's the thing.
it's like kind of a theory that fits together. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
it
if he
could
did
be.
that with somebody else, what's to think he would do it with his muse, the love of his life, things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So that's what I think happened. And I think that's why that email was not released
It
because
could have been.
I'm pretty sure his manager is like, hey, yeah, so, your daughter's actually okay, but we actually have a deal for you. And that's David wants to date her. I know she's a minor. I know she's a minor, but here's a few $100,000 so you guys could not trip about it. And the
That would
family,
also make, in that email not being released, that would make David's manager implicit in underage,
well, for sure, like
play. I
human
mean,
trafficking,
yeah, I mean, so that there's a ton of reasons, and that's what everybody's
that's
keeping
just my
everything
theory.
so close to the chest. Yeah.
Oh, it is. It is.
And there's actually people who talk about that too. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, like
Yeah,
were her
that's why I say
parents
it's a
involved?
rumor. It's a rumor that people talk about. So
Yeah. So
that's
just to get so again, this girl is 13 years old. I was a nightmare at 13 years old. Do you know how many times I left my house? Like granted, came back like a couple hours later, but I tried to run away too. I mean, this is just something that happens when you're that young. You don't know any better.
yeah,
You're a
definitely.
child. So yeah, so she returned back
I
on
mean,
February
I didn't
20th.
I didn't think about running away at that age, but I just like, okay, you're a parent. I asked my mom, okay, Ariana Grande was a hot artist at that time. She's way older than me. What if she comes to the door and be like, hey, I need to borrow AJ? Oh, he's 13 years old. My parents would be like, oh hell no.
Yeah, I'd be like,
No.
Ariana, love your music, big fan. Get
Yeah,
out of here.
yeah.
Like,
Get out of here. Wait till he's 18 at least,
but that's another thing. We don't know how her home life was. We don't understand what rules they were under. To me, it sounds like she was pretty loose off the leash, in my opinion.
Yeah, but TMZ also interviewed one of her ex-boyfriends, some little weaselly white boy, and he was saying how her home life wasn't that good.
Okay.
How it wasn't like abusive, but it just wasn't one that a 13-year-old should be growing up in.
Okay, so maybe just, I mean, were the parents still together?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. But it also coincides with the next big key point in this case. March 19th, 2024, Celeste is reported missing for a second time and would be seen on a camera passing a liquor store down the street from her family home. Now, from Pat CC's video, shout out to him again, um, David's Discord would prove that his closest friends at this time knew that they were in a relationship.
Now, so let's talk about that really fast. Were these Discord fans? Were they actual friends? Like, did both of them know? Did they both have mutual friends? Like,
I'm
who
gonna
were
be
these people that knew?
I never heard of Discord up until this case. I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea what it is. Is it a gaming site
Oh,
or
I act surprised. I just hear about Discord because of the research that I do, but
right?
I've never been on it. I've never been on
I've never
Discord.
been on it either. I'm gonna have to Google that.
I think it's like maybe just a little bit more loose. Maybe it's like a version of WhatsApp, possibly, like to where it's very loose with like its rules and
Yeah.
engagement and stuff like that. Because I think you can say whatever you want on there. I don't think there's any type of restriction.
Okay, okay, you're right. Is a free communication platform for communities that allows users to chat in real time via text, voice, or video. Initially popular with gamers, it is now used by diverse groups for everything from hobbies and schoolwork to professional projects and social gatherings. Users join servers, which are communities focused on specific topics, and then can talk in channels within those servers.
Okay.
So
Okay. So we weren't too far off. That's
no,
good.
no, no, no. And yeah, to your point, that is an interesting thing. Were they friends with David? Were they friends with Celeste? And that's going to come in handy later. But let's
Yeah.
continue with the timeline. Sometime between April and May 2024, this is where it gets really dark and really scary, you guys. So you're going to want to fasten your seatbelt for this. Celeste calls home sometime in May. It's being reported, but we can't confirm. It's also reported Celeste's parents receive a call from an unknown person telling them to take down missing persons posters and post because she is quote unquote fine. An insider claimed that this was made by the family to stop searching for her. And that part just really, whew,
No, so April and
whew,
May are there, it's weird because
chill.
April of 2024, so let's go ahead and go back on the timeline. So we have February 20th, she returns home. Less than a month later, she's reported missing for a second time.
Yes.
Then less than a month later, she's reported missing for a third time.
Okay. Okay, I skipped forward. I apologize, chat. I apologize. So April 2024, I apologize. Celeste is reported missing for the third and final time. Last seen on April 5th, 2024 at 9 p.m. wearing gray pants, black sweater, hat, and Hello Kitty sandals. Her brother told NBC LA that family members were aware that she knew the singer David, and that night she was leaving with him to see a movie, picked up in the same Tesla that would be found decomposing in the later days. He regularly picked her up in that Tesla.
And that's confirmed by her brother, like her actual brother.
Yeah,
You cannot tell me that they did not have a relationship. Whether you want to say it was platonic or not, they knew each
they,
other. They hung out.
they did. They really did. And
And this
that,
is the
that
third time. This is the third time in a span of 3 months.
yeah, that right there is the evidence. That right there is like the quote unquote, missing piece
Yeah.
of David being a suspect.
So let's kind of gather that information. So let's put ourselves into the mind of a 14-year-old girl, which I used to be. I want to be grown. I want my freedom. I'm tired. Maybe my
Sure.
maybe my home life sucks. I want to be in a situation where a rapper, a well-known TikToker, rapper, singer, whatever you want to
Yeah.
call him,
Yeah.
it has his eyes set on me.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest caveat in this all. It's not just some random guy in LA. It's a famous rapper.
But he's technically an adult, so she's wanting to live this adult life. She is not an adult. She's literally a child. Like she wants to be in this life. She has had a taste of this life. She's running away from home. Who do you think she's with?
Another grown man.
Yeah. So
Easily.
it and that's with the timeline, that's what kind of made my head hurt doing all this research is like, did she not have any close friends? Did she not have any like close female friendships that she was telling this stuff to?
I
Who
mean,
doesn't want to brag about that?
she would go to school and be like, "Yeah, I'm dating this rapper. By the way, I'm not going to be here." And she would like disappear for months from school. And classmates were saying like, "Yeah, she would disappear off and on, but we don't know who she was with." And I want to also bring up something. What's with that photo in the parking lot with David in the beanie?
Oh
He
yeah.
made like his profile picture.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
What's
And
up with that?
yeah, we're going to talk about that. That was in Lake Elsinore, California, by the way.
That's like
Was
right down the street from her house, I think.
literally right down the street from her house. Yeah.
What
Yeah,
the hell is going on?
it makes your head hurt. It makes your head
Ugh.
hurt.
Yeah, I'm with you there though. One thing I do want to add before we jump on to the next part of the timeline, I aside from that anonymous phone call that was brought upon by the anonymous person,
Hmm.
I feel like her parents gave this nonchalant attitude because they knew Celeste would run away and they knew this was going on. So they almost, and this might sound cold, but they almost were like, hey, whatever happens to her, happens to her. They
Yeah.
probably got numerous arguments with Celeste, and they probably told her, "You want to act grown, you're gonna get grown consequences. You're gonna get grown
Yeah.
prizes." And
My
that's
parents told me.
I'm pretty sure that happened. So
Yeah.
when this first came out, I wanted to blame the parents because I'm like, how are you gonna let your 14, 13-year-old daughter go
Yeah.
out with an adult? But
Yeah.
now that everything is coming out, I could kind of see why they acted the way they did.
I
So
feel like maybe they just did not have control of her, for lack of a better word. Like, I'm not saying
yeah,
you have to control your 14-year-old daughter, but you live under these homes, you live under this house. This house has rules.
yeah,
And if you don't want to abide by those rules, in my opinion, I feel like they knew where she was and they were just making sure that, okay, we know where she's at. She has food to eat. She has a roof over her head. Like,
yeah,
we can't control her anymore. We're kind of done. I mean, my
sure,
mom said that to me when I was 15.
sure.
Like, I'm done with you. I can't control you anymore. So who
Yeah.
knows the conversations that happen behind closed doors?
But the main thing that I find weird, like Pizza Hut being inside a Target weird, is this anonymous phone call, you know?
Who was that?
And
I
what
can't
what
find anything anywhere that's being reported on who this was.
was it a friend of David? Was it David's manager? Was it just someone in his circle. I think it was someone in his circle that's just some random nobody.
Yeah, but why even care if the posters are put up? Why even care that there's Facebook posts? Like why is that such a big thing that you're worried about?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe because, with David's alter ego being this anime Japanese murderer type,
Honestly.
maybe some plans were set in motion as to how they were going to unalive her, and they wanted to start cutting all the ties since now.
Yeah.
That's what I think about that.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's keep it moving. June 27th, 2024, which was a Friday, people believe that Celeste is caught in a video walking backstage with David's brother at one of his concerts in LA. Now I'm gonna try and put the video up here in a sec after editing and all that. It looks a lot like her.
It does look like
It
her.
does,
The only difference is that she has red hair.
which can be plausible because during this time, May to June, she didn't return home.
Yeah.
Her and David probably did their hair together one night.
Yeah.
I honestly think it's her.
I
I do.
think it's her too.
I do. Here's where it gets even more wackier. September 8th, 2024. So almost a year to the day she was found unalived.
Hmm.
Insane.
Yeah.
TMZ obtained a video on September 29th, 2025, recorded by a Nest doorbell, which is like a Ring doorbell, at Celeste's home in Lake Elsinore, where she is seen arguing back and forth with neighbors. This proves that Celeste was home with family, celebrating her birthday, probably. It's also important because that's when questions would soon arise between friends and family. That's the last time she was truly seen alive before
Yeah.
being found deceased.
Yeah.
I do think she returned home. I genuinely do. Um,
So do you think she was just like fleeting in and out? Again, we have
I
not
do.
heard anything from family on timeline.
No, no. I, which we'll get to in a sec on the new details. I do think she was going in and out, and I think with David paying the family and you know Celeste telling all these other people I'm okay. She was telling her friends. She wasn't even telling her family. She was telling her friends, her classmates, where she
Hmm.
was, how she was doing. I think she would go in and out to like get clothes,
Wait,
maybe.
so that's another thing. I didn't even think about that. School.
Yeah.
Isn't there a rule against like that goes against parents with truancy? So like if your kid misses a certain amount of days, like it's actually reported to the
Hmm.
local police. Isn't that something that happens, if I'm
I
not
don't know.
mistaken?
I don't know how it is in California, but if I can imagine, I'd assume it's that same way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, yeah. And then there was that one weird video of that this is a video I didn't make sense. It's all over the internet of like
Mhm.
her teacher being like, "This was her in the class 8 months ago," and all the students are like, "Oh my gosh," they're losing their minds. I'm like, well, what does that have to do with anything? You
But
know,
when,
like this teacher's like flexing. Oh yeah, Celeste was in my class. I'm like, okay, you weirdo. Like,
like was he trying to like say like this is what happens when you talk to strangers online? Like what was the point of him saying that?
it was something like the dangers of social media,
Yeah.
how you can't trust nobody. I'm like, okay, regardless if David was famous or not, we all know people are catfish.
Yeah, stranger danger,
Danger,
100%.
danger, absolutely. Uh,
It's
yeah,
it's again, it'll make your head hurt. It's crazy.
yeah. So let's get into David's posts that he was making around this time. So apparently in July 2022, and I say apparently because I didn't know he was an artist for that long.
Yeah.
David releases romantic homicide lyrics that state, "In the back of my mind, you unalived." I can't say the D word, and I didn't even cry. A month later, Discord messages from a Celeste saying, "My parents are so effing annoying. They won't let me go see you perform," with the heartbreak emoji. David replies, "Don't worry, I'll fix it." If this was Celeste, she would have been 11 years old and David was 17. Now, okay,
11.
but that doesn't sound as bad as it does now.
No.
I'm not condoning anything, but David is still a minor himself at that time. It's still gross,
Yeah.
because
They're
why?
both minors.
Ugh.
They're just friends at this point. We don't know. I mean, she could be just a fan. We don't know
Do you
what their
think that
relationship was like.
do you think that that was actually her though?
In my opinion, I do. I do think this was Celeste, and we're going to go over that here a little bit later in the video of why I think this was her in the Discord messages
Okay.
and TikToks and Instagram Reels. It's crazy. So
Yeah. And the age of consent in California is 18. So October 2022, in the same Discord group, David asked for Celeste, and she replies, "Hi, David Bark," which, okay, she's just saying his
I
name.
don't understand these
Yeah, yeah, no.
youngins.
She was she was 12 years old at that time. October 23, full year later, David posts he thinks girls his age are the R word, RETAR. I am not gonna finish explaining that.
Basically, he's just saying what it sounds like.
He's saying,
Allegedly, he's saying he's not
yeah,
attracted to girls his age, in my opinion.
he's saying girls his age, for lack of a better term, are just dumb.
Or done. Yeah.
So, December 2023, a user in David's Discord group takes a screenshot of a live stream and asks David, "Who's the girl?" David replies, "You are a Fed." During this time, Celeste was not missing. This would mean he was publicly hanging out with a 13-year-old, and David would be 18 around this time. It has not been verified if this was Celeste in the live stream, but it looks a lot like her. Is that the one where they're sitting in the kitchen and she's wearing those giant glasses?
No, no, no. That's actually later.
Okay.
This one is literally a Discord group, and it was a screenshot. It looks like they're in a studio,
Okay.
and she has her face covered, but from here up looks like Celeste.
Mm,
And somebody screenshotted that live stream, put it in the Discord chat, and
mm.
said, "Who's the girl?" So basically, like, "Oh my God, you have a girlfriend, you're not telling us about
Uh,
it," type of
yeah,
deal.
yeah.
And
Well,
all
and then
David
David got
replies
all
is, "You're a
defensive.
Fed."
Yeah, he
Yeah,
got all defensive, which
yeah.
is insane.
Which I did, I did my research on. Again, not familiar with the youngins. I did my research and it basically said like, "Stop prying, like you're a Fed, stop prying," type
Oh
of
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Well, and
So,
it's also what it sounds like. Like, don't be a snitch, basically. You
yeah,
know.
yeah.
All right. Late February, late 2023, early 2024. Excuse me. A photo was taken with his arms around Celeste, possibly on Instagram. There's a lot known. There's not a known date of the photo, but according to David's hairstyle, it matched the style he had around that time.
Yeah.
In January 2024, there's a live stream of him with a girl believed to be Celeste, same voice as Celeste, in the September 2024 camera footage of her fighting with her neighbors. David would be 18 years old, about to turn 19, and she would be 13 in the live stream. She makes a joke. This is the one I was talking about of them in the kitchen. She makes a joke about it. She makes a joke about it being controversial to R word kids. They both laugh and demand the chat and live stream be deleted. We say joke because they're both laughing, but we all know that's no joking matter, no laughing matter. It should be taken seriously. The Discord chat of this live stream was saying things like David being on the Epstein list, and it also mentions Celeste by name, proving that she could be the one in the video. I think so.
I mean, that's like irrefutable evidence, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's her name
come on now.
around the time that they're hanging out. And it
Exactly.
looks like her and sounds like her, honestly.
It is. I don't see how it can be anyone else, even though this quasi new Celeste was in the picture.
Yeah.
I don't think so. So, all right, 2024, early we're still in early 2024. This is when David starts posting multiple TikToks about him being infatuated with a girl, basically saying I'm in a relationship, but also keeping it private, probably because he knows what he's doing is hella illegal.
Yeah.
He started to wear Hello Kitty gear, basically insinuating Celeste because Celeste wore a lot of Hello Kitty gear herself.
And again, it's not illegal to change your style. David changed his style from everything that we gathered a billion times.
Yeah, it's not a crime. It's not a
But
crime.
he's now talking just incessantly about Hello Kitty now. And you have this girl who's believed to be with him during this time who's also obsessed with Hello Kitty. So it's Celeste in my opinion.
I think so too. Here's where it gets crazier again. And if your head is hurting, we apologize, but we just want to give y'all better context. July 7th, 2024, David posted TikTok with the girl believed to be Celeste and it says softest soft launch of all time, basically saying he's in a relationship but still wanting to keep it privately. I remember the picture, it was like Celeste kind of covering her face, but
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the hand tattoos that Celeste had was was her, you know.
Yeah.
And
And again, if it's Celeste, why, if you think that this is great and grand and you guys are in love, whatever, why are you covering her up?
because she's
Because she's a minor.
Kendrick Lamar, A minor.
Yeah.
Come on now. Taken the same day. This couldn't have been the photo taken the same day because David was in London on July 7th on a tour. The other TikToks posted would have been him kissing with the girl's face covered with an emoji, but you can't see that her hair is straight and red. But you can see that her hair is straight and red. Excuse me. A lot of people question if this was Celeste because the girl's hair wasn't dark and curly, but in the June 27th post, many believe Celeste is backstage at David's concert with their hair dyed red. He could have been bored on tour, just in his hotel room, and he's like, well, I think I'm gonna post this. People
Exactly.
people do it all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not a crime at
Like
all.
you don't want to sit there, maybe not even like get ready for a picture or whatever, and you're just like, okay, there's nothing around me right now. I can take a picture. Let me go ahead and scroll through my
Yeah,
phone and let's
yeah.
get everybody going. Let's get
And
everybody excited
celebrities do it all the time,
all the time.
all the time. So
100%.
July 11th, 2024, 4 days later, David's post on Discord, me and the deleted user. This part really weirded me out,
Yeah.
and I'm glad we're crossing this right now. David's post on Discord, me and at deleted user got a kid on the way. People believe the deleted user is the Ye Woohoo account believed to be Celeste. There was a theory that David got Celeste pregnant and unalived her because of this, trying to say that this was the true motive.
Hmm.
But this is important to remember because the autopsy of Celeste shows that she was not pregnant, thankfully,
Yeah.
and had not been pregnant in the last year. David was in Paris doing this post around this time, and an Instagram user named Hello Kitty Life Girl posted a picture with the engagement ring and David tattooed with her and David at a restaurant.
Which is so wild because nobody's talking about this David tattoo. Before, I was watching Patrick's or Pat Cece's video. This was kind of the first time I ever heard that there was a second tattoo.
Yeah, so they had that tattoo right here,
Yeah,
and the new one was like David's name, like in the on the finger inside.
on the ring finger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and people were trying to say that that could have been somebody else.
Which you don't know because okay, so they find this body, they see so the body was insanely decomposed, which we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And it took them a while to figure out who this was, but they released almost immediately that there was a tattoo on the finger with sh on it.
Uh huh.
But if she had a tattoo on her ring finger with David's name on it,
Uh huh.
wouldn't have that been reported too, if I'm not mistaken? Or maybe that finger was just decomposed?
I'm
Was
not
was the
sure.
ring found with this decomposing body? And we say engagement ring, it could have been a promise ring, but it was a diamond ring. Like,
So I apologize if I'm being a little too graphic, but if they say the body was decomposed and they were able to identify at least one of the tattoos, that means like some skin was still on her
right.
at that point. And they said that the David tattoo was not on her. Could that have been
Yeah,
a temporary tattoo, maybe? You think?
possibly.
I feel like that's the only thing that it could be. Uh,
Again, and you get so wrapped up in this information because you have to cherry pick and pick apart this information that like we don't have all the information at hand. Like, I mean, I didn't even know it was being reported until I started watching YouTube videos.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so
And another person I got information from was T Spill, so shout out to her. That queen is killing it right now. So she's awesome, and she's talked a lot. That's
Queen.
how I got into it was by what she was posting. Then when I saw Pat
Yeah.
post a video, I was like, oh man, this is deep. It,
Yeah.
this is deep.
It needs to be talked about by everybody.
End of July 2024, a photo of David at a party is posted, and it shows a girl believed to be Celeste wearing that said engagement ring and a silk bandana that belonged to David. No one has confirmed that this was Celeste at the party, but Patrick CC believes that Yay Wahoo, Hello Kitty Life Girl, and the girl in the party photo is Celeste. Now, there was another photo, I don't remember when, where it shows like fans in the rafters
Hmm.
and it shows like a girl who looks to be Celeste. What do you think about that and that information that we just said and the quote unquote second Celeste? I know you really wanted to touch on that.
So at this point, it's just like what's so frustrating about all of this is that, oh my gosh, there was a picture. The only picture that I ever saw that we 100% knew and confirmed that it was Celeste was that Instagram picture we just talked about. And we don't even know when that picture was taken. Whose face or whose Instagram was it posted on? We don't know any information. So all of these other pictures, it's like side views, it's covering
Yeah,
faces, it's all this stuff where you're just like, oh my God, is that her or not? If we knew 100% if it was her, our timeline would be so much better.
it
Talk about it.
would because, like you said, it's a lot of speculation.
Yeah.
It's a
At
lot.
this point, yes, I think that every single picture is her, in my opinion. In my
So
opinion, I think every single picture is her.
what do we have so far? Like three, four instances that truly confirmed it was Celeste. We're
Yeah.
talking about the video to the liquor store, the
Mm-hmm.
video on the stream,
Mm-hmm.
the picture of them, um, the picture of them at the concert. So that's yeah, three or four instances where we all know for a fact it is her.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, like if you want to be nice about the whole thing, they were at least friends, which again, why are you hanging out with a girl that's that young? Why is she tagging along to your concerts? Like who is she to you?
Yeah, I swear, Ali, I think he was just paying off the family because he
We
has
have to say allegedly on that because we do not
alleged,
know. There's
alleged,
no receipts on that.
alleged, alleged.
But
Again, it's a rumor. It's a rumor, but that's just my gut feeling. I think that's what he was doing because I know any innocent parent would not allow this, no matter the paycheck.
so, I mean, do you really think I mean, let's have an honest conversation about that. Do
Yeah,
you really think that her parents just did not care that much and that they knew she was going to run away? So let's go ahead and get paid. But like you're talking about going to parties where there's drinking and alcohol and tattooing
other
and
dudes, other
other,
horny dudes.
I bet you anything. I bet you 100% there was drugs involved. I mean, your daughter is so young. She's so young.
Here's another thing I want to touch on. Why would he post that she was pregnant?
I don't know. I don't know.
But
But here's the thing, the
could he be talking
photos,
to somebody else?
I mean, he doesn't have a baby right now. Nobody's come forward.
True.
So this is what I think. I think the guy in his style, and David, talking about the guy, sorry, don't want to call him by name anymore. Very irritated with him. The David, his
Call him
style,
D4VD.
Dave Forbid. What's up, Dave Forbid? His style has always been like shock value. I mean, he pulled up to one of his concerts with a hearse or something like that.
I don't think that's helping him. That's not helping his case. And I'm not saying I'm on Dave Forvid's side,
Yeah.
but at the same time, if you're trying to portray that you're innocent and that nothing's going on, why have this change in personality
And
of
that's why I have
yeah,
theories. I just have theories. I think that anybody at the age and from my perspective, he was not grown for his age. He was
uh,
still a kid himself, no matter his age. He was not handling fame very
no,
well at all.
no.
So to put somebody that young like David, again, he was an adult though. Let's go ahead and talk about it's legally an adult. For him
Yeah,
to go out there in the world and to get views, you have to have a little bit of shock value to that. I think he was just a shocking person.
possibly. All right, end of July 2024. This is the one I was talking about earlier. Another photo was taken at the end of July, day 4 vid in the parking lot right down the street from Celeste's parents' house in Lake Elsinore, California. Day 4 vid lives 70 miles away in LA. So the person Day 4 vid had to be in the same city. So the only reason Day 4 vid had to be in the same city as Celeste, right down the street, was because of Celeste. Someone contacted the other person in the same photo, and this is what he described happening in the photo. Bro, this was supposed to be a secret. That wasn't supposed to get out. Day 4 Vid didn't know how old the girl was. She was lying, saying that she was 19 when he was 20. And the second he found out, he took her home. And since we were dumbass kids, we tried to blackmail him and we were really messed up. And if you keep that video up, you could ruin his life for doing nothing wrong over a girl, lying, and then you could ruin my life because he would know I leaked it and could go to jail for like slandering him, bro. Again, that was from somebody else.
So if we can put an overlay of that picture, if we can,
Yeah,
it's a
right.
parking lot picture. David's wearing a beanie, but it looks like he has maybe possibly money in his hand. I don't know who took the picture,
It
but
looks
the
like a drug,
guy,
if I'm
it
being
looks
honest.
like a drug deal. It's
Yeah.
so strange. And so they contacted the guy in this photo, which he was over here. They contacted that guy. I don't know who's they. I don't know who contacted them. But this is the response to him, like
That
take it down.
Yeah. So what picture is he talking about? Just one that a bystander took of Celeste and David, and how did he not know the girl's age when they were just on stream talking about R-wording kids?
Yeah. I'm sorry, there is nothing inside of me. Again, if I was on a jury on this case right now, there is nothing inside me that David did not know how old Celeste was. He even said himself he does not like girls his age. So if a girl came up to him around his age, he probably wouldn't even be interested.
Hello, hello.
And that, again, my opinion, but there's just no way that they didn't know each other. I mean, they had matching tattoos for the love of God. So,
All right. Ooh. As of July 2025, 2 months before Celeste was found, another girl is seen with David at an arcade. The girl's back is to the camera until David turns her around and someone says, "Don't be shy." She's wearing the same Gap hoodie that Celeste Hernandez was wearing on a missing persons poster. This Celeste has also thick black rimmed glasses like Celeste Hernandez was wearing in the January 2024 live stream. This girl is 23 years old. It's okay. In our notes, we have it's very weird that you kept hanging out with girls that look very similar to each other. Now, granted, she wasn't pronounced unalived at this time, correct?
yeah, yeah. But
Uh,
I mean, July of 20, so this is July of 2025. Celeste was found
yeah.
September of 2025.
Okay. So,
But this Celeste girl, her name is Celeste Herrera. She hasn't come forward. We don't know anything about this girl.
where is she?
Not
Where
even
is she?
kidding you.
Did she
She
lawyer up?
looks, I don't know.
And
She
they
looks
told her to not
so
say.
much like Celeste, the other Celeste. Like
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. Like if they took a picture side by side, I'd be like, oh, that's Celeste Rivas Hernandez. But it's not. It's Celeste Herrera. And how you know it's Celeste Herrera is because she's posted in other Instagram posts,
Yeah.
Facebook posts, whatever,
Yeah.
um, at parties with David.
One thing I want to bring up. This could be apples and bananas, or it couldn't. But when OJ got acquitted for his murder, we all know he did it. When he got acquitted, that's another video for a different day. I saw in the documentary about him how when he got out, he started dating a lot of women that look like Nicole Brown Simpson. Why? I don't know. But maybe it's because it was his guilty conscience. I was going to try and compare it with David and the fact that, well, maybe he had a guilty conscience. But when you say that her body wasn't found until 2 months later, 3 months later, well, Celeste was still alive and well.
Okay, so she was
But
alive and well. Where is she?
that's what I'm saying. Was that her in the video? And why would she say she was 23? Is that to cover David's tracks? Or were they simply broken up at this time? And this is just one of the craziest coincidences in human history. What do you think?
So it's being reported that it's not her. It's being reported that it's Celeste Herrera. But okay, so if you go back to the video of them during that live stream when they're talking about all the crazy stuff, she literally has these big, thick black glasses on, super cute, and
Yeah.
then has the Gap sweatshirt that she's photographed in for her missing persons poster back in 2024. This girl seen at the arcade, which everybody is stating 100% that this is Celeste Herrera, has this hoodie on and has what looks to be the same exact glasses that Celeste Rivas Hernandez was wearing in the live stream just a year ago. Who,
Ooh.
so let's put that into perspective. Okay, so he's now with Celeste Herrera. She is not back home during this time. This is the blackout period from September 2024 to now July 2025. Where is Celeste?
Yeah, and I think yeah, there's a huge gap, like you just said, September 24th, September 25. It makes any timeline condensed to just theories and rumors. People have reached out to Celeste's brother, and he has confirmed that the family knew about David, and he even went to the police to report it, but there was not enough evidence. I mean,
So he went to the police. So Celeste's brother went to the police. I think I don't even know when this was. I can't remember to report that he was in a that she was in a relationship with somebody who was older and she was
yeah.
still a minor. That's what he went to the police to report.
Now let me ask you this. Do you think that the parents, her parents, sent her brother to like ask all these questions and whatnot because the parents kind of couldn't? Their hands were allegedly tied due to these payments that David was making. Um, or do you think the parents just didn't give a rat's ski hat about what was happening to their daughter?
I don't know. I think what it sounds like from the time that she started running away the first time is that they just had a wild teenage daughter on their hand, and at this point, they
That's
just
what
did
I think.
not know how to control
That
her.
I think. I think that there's one thing that Pat CC posted on his video that I want to bring up, but I'll let you speak more on what kind of other theories that you had.
So I have a couple of what we're talking about right now. This Celeste Herrera girl, I want to know more about her. I want to know, okay, if you were in David's life, it looks to be allegedly romantic. You're seen with him at this arcade. He's treating you. You guys are being cute together. Like it
Yeah,
looks like you guys are together. Why can't Celeste her be like? Why isn't she speaking about? Did she see Celeste Rivas Hernandez at this time? I mean,
yeah,
July 2025. Where is Celeste? If David is out with another girl and it's actually on camera, and during this time we're supposed to believe that Celeste Rivas Hernandez is with David, but he's not with her, where is she? That's what I want to know. That's my big theory with this Celeste Herrera girl. That's the only question I have. Girl, you're 23 years old. Do what you need to do. You're an adult. That's fine. Did you ever see her? Did you guys
yeah,
communicate? Were you guys living in the same rental house in the Hollywood Hills with David? Like,
yeah,
who? That's the biggest question for me right now at this point. Who is this other
yeah.
girl?
Yeah, so what I wanted to bring up, there's two things I wanted to bring up. That somebody contacted Celeste's brother on IG, and this unknown user was DMing Celeste's brother back and forth saying, dude, why does David follow you? All respect to your sister. I hate how shitty people are being. Was it really him? Jesus, all up, man. Yes, it was him because he found my account out of nowhere and he followed me. Another post said,
Wait, that's saying that David followed Celeste's
yeah,
brother?
yeah.
Okay.
Another text exchange was like, just randomly, did you even talk to him? The brother said, I met him once in person. Did you and your family know of your sister being with him? Like she was living with him? All of this shit is so confusing and disgusting. Her brother said, I knew and went to the police about it, but lack of evidence, so it was waved off. Um, Here's a video proving of all the messages are real and stuff. Are those photos of her? The brother said yes. Do you have any of your sister's Instagram accounts? There were some messages people said to her messaging. There were some messages people said were her messaging friends, but not really confirmed yet. And then the account messaged her brother trying to say, like, another text exchange with, I think, Celeste X. I'm not too sure, but it was in Pat's video where it says, you think this is real? And the brother says, yes, I do. I know who Gus is. He's dead. What happened? He got shot up. What the hell does that mean?
Who's Gus?
I don't know. And
Oh my
then
God.
another text message exchange. I think this was Celeste talking with friends, talking about, I thought I did. And chat, I apologize if this is a little graphic. I just got my period. I only bled with David. I was with Gus. I was just drunk, and I did it because he got mad at the first time for not having sex with him. So Gus is an ex.
Gus is the next. He sounds like a real stand-up guy.
And I don't think his death ties to this. I don't.
Okay. Okay.
But I think
Wait, so Gus is not alive?
no.
Oh, sorry, Gus. I take that
Yeah.
back.
R.I.P. Gus.
Okay,
Right
sorry,
there.
guys. Don't want to talk ill of the dead, but you didn't seem like a great person. So,
Oh,
so it just sounds like, and also it just sounds like she just did not surround herself with some very great people.
well, she also kept a lot of things close to the vest.
Yeah. She's
She,
very secretive.
and that's what makes this so weird. And if this ever goes to trial, could possibly make this a hung jury. Is the fact that all this shit is so spaced out, so lack of evidence. You
I'm going to
know,
tell you one thing. If there is a jury, Celeste Herrera better be called. She better be called as some type of witness. July 2025, 3 months, 4 months
yeah,
before Celeste's body is found.
two.
There were other people too. Oh, sorry, there were two people around, at least David and this other Celeste girl. I mean, was this turning into like a freaking Playboy Mansion scenario with younger girl? Well, Herrera wasn't younger, with just beautiful women. Every that we all look alike. Now we're
But
getting
at least there was no weird shit
there.
going on with that. She was a legal consenting adult.
Exactly, but she needs to be questioned. Did
She
you
does.
ever see Celeste?
She does. No, no. And I think, again, this is all alleged. I really think she just lawyered up. I think
Oh,
she just lawyered up and
possibly.
she's not talking until the time is right.
Yeah.
I do.
I think anybody involved in this is not talking.
So let's get into the newest information that we have. Allie, I'll let you take that away.
Oh my gosh. All right, bear with me, guys. So we started recording again. We're recording on Sunday, the 23rd. Okay, I think this video is going to be released possibly later in the week,
Yeah,
possibly. But let's talk about again, TMZ is just on this case. TMZ has just dropped some serious stuff. They are not my usual go-to when it comes to like references, but
yeah. I don't really like TMZ, but they're the only ones really giving updates at this point.
they have given us dates. They're the ones that we found out that there was a Ring doorbell camera or a Nest doorbell camera video of Celeste, which is huge, which is
Yeah,
huge.
yeah.
Okay, so it's let's see, November 23rd, which is today. This was reported at 3:46 today. And it says house that David rented had freezer. Why is that important?
Oh.
This weekend, I'm guessing it was the coroner or whomever stated that Celeste's body was frozen before it was placed in the trunk.
And she was also chat. I'm not making this up. She, I'm going to say this in YouTube terms, family
Yeah.
terms. She did not have a head
Oh dear Lord.
when the body was found.
So whomever did this, David or somebody else, she was brutally either murdered or killed, unalived, sorry, unalived, and then decapitated?
Now, why is the rumor that we may never know the cause of death? Why do you think that is?
Okay, at first I thought is because her body was too decomposed. Now I'm putting the pieces together that there could be body parts missing. There could be tracks being covered. So maybe how she was unalived, they had to cover their tracks. So she was unalived, put in a freezer, or decapitated then put in a freezer, and they were covering their tracks for how she was unalived. I mean, that's like the only thing that I can honestly think of.
Well, I'll piggyback off of that. So there was, if you're going to be dismembering a body, why why not get rid of the body parts? And I don't mean to sound cruel, or I'm not saying this is the perfect guide to dismember a body, but why not remove the body parts that have the key telling tattoos? You know, that's what makes this even more weird.
It's so frustrating and it makes me so emotional. What happened? When did this happen? What happened to this girl? Why isn't everybody in this timeline being questioned and brought in? And maybe they are, and we don't know. Who knows? What this is like legitimately like a psychopathic thing to do. Somebody who did this is a psychopath. This is a psychopathic killer.
I think it was. David's dark fantasy coming to fruition. I really
Okay.
do.
Let me piggyback off that then. Why is it in his Tesla in the Hollywood Hills?
Well, isn't it like down the street from his property that he no longer rents there?
Okay, so if you're trying to cover your tracks, why is it why? That's a huge question. Why is her
Yeah, I
body
get it.
unfrozen? So it's taken from a frozen freezer, put into a trunk of a Tesla, and just stopping there. Like, why aren't you not driving the car somewhere, burning the car? Like, why?
I'll do you one better. What about the abandoned Tesla key that was like stomped on the curb? Because in Teslas, you can record everything. I think they took the card out to where it only will show where it goes. It's basically just now a glorified tracking device
Yeah.
where you take the card out, put it back in, it shows the conversations, the people that were in there, it shows everything. So, mind you, the reports are coming out now that it was not just only David. He couldn't have done this alone. Foul play is definitely involved here. So the
And I
fact
think
that
it was reported they had a second suspect, but it's not being reported who.
who the hell could that be?
I,
At this point, who the hell knows?
I
At,
mean, from the top of my head, his manager, who's been playing coy since day one, again, allegedly, allegedly. But if a manager was involved and somebody who was that much older than David and they were trying to cover up a murder Hollywood style, you're not going to just leave it down the street from a rental house
yeah,
that David runs from. Now, here's another thing though, which was why I'm even naming the manager allegedly.
yeah. Again, we say allegedly, chat, because this is an ongoing case.
So, David's manager did not know that the house that he signed off to be rented was going to be rented by David.
Hmm.
Okay, so if somebody who didn't know that that was David's home
Okay,
as a rental property
I do
could be
remember.
involved.
Yeah, I
Who
remember.
else was living in this home? Was David the only one living in this home?
Maybe he just had all his bitches there. I
I,
mean,
it sounds like he has a lot of bitches that look exactly the same.
I just,
Like,
at this point, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't.
and that's what this is. Here's my thing. This is where it's really bad for David.
Tell me.
And you have now caused such a ruckus and such a mess that we are not going to stop talking about this.
Oh, hell no.
So I think you did maybe the exact opposite of maybe if you came out and made a statement.
Here's what I was
Or,
gonna say. For as stupid as he is, he's also really good at covering his tracks. If you look at the timeline with the whole face covering of the pictures and whatnot, my God.
I mean, if that is Celeste in those pictures, I mean, you're going to basically do whatever this guy tells you. I
I
mean,
want,
you ran away from home for him.
yeah.
You're going to cover your face. You're going to be like, "Oh, can I
No, I
post
get
this
it.
picture of us?" So
And it could coincide with I'm a minor. We can't let anybody know that I'm a minor.
yeah.
I want to bring up one more thing that um before we put in our closing thoughts from a commenter on T Spill's video, the most recent video she made about the recent findings in the case. Said this one commenter says, one thing I would like to draw the viewer's attention to: the police are not mishandling the case because they are declining to release substantial information to the public. Celeste, may she rest in peace, was a minor. That means because her name is a public result of the investigation, is public as a result of the investigation, they are legally not permitted to share certain aspects of the case until they become public through the court system. Please, everyone, remember respect to the privacy of this minor family, despite how we may think or feel about how this ended up. It's not meant to be a blessing to those still living, to the deceased. Respect Celeste as much as possible. So, this person, I think, is trying to say that I'm pretty sure the police want to release X, Y, and Z amounts of evidence, but they can't because she's a minor.
Hmm.
So, and that also makes me frustrated because what are we going to wait 3 more years till all this shit comes out because she's a minor? I,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
And
Well,
again, we don't know all the laws and stuff like that. We don't know what can be used if they're trying to build a case against these people. David and whomever they think else is in on this, if they're trying to build a case, I get that and I respect that 100%. But
Yeah.
this has turned into a wildfire that's not going to be contained.
Well, we'll end on this. If you could have a crystal ball, your gut feeling, what do you predict will happen next in the coming months?
I find it very hard to believe that he's not going to be at least taken into custody for questioning. I think that if they're trying to build a case around him, there's too much that's coming out. I think even TMZ reported that he took a trip to like Santa Barbara or something like that,
Yeah.
where people think that that's possibly where she could have been killed and dismembered
Hmm.
and then brought back to the freezer. There's just no way that this guy does not he's not taken into custody. And again,
Yeah.
where is he living right now? I mean, he's no
Where,
longer
where
renting
the
the.
hell is he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he in California? Did he leave the country? Is he hiding out at a ranch somewhere in Montana?
Yeah. In my opinion, so we're talking about, Celeste, kind of being a serial runaway and stuff like that. And it was hard to contain her, is what I'm thinking, what happened with the parents. On the other hand, David wasn't containable either. He was
No.
posting anything and everything he wanted. And
And that's what
then
made him sloppy.
that's what made him sloppy. But now this comes out and now you're just radio silent. Again, I know that you have a lawyer who's probably telling you, but if it was me and I wasn't like, you know, not all full grown yet because he's not. He's
Yeah.
under 24.
No,
I would think like, oh, I'm innocent. I'm just gonna post whatever I want. Like nobody can stop me type of thing.
yeah. I mean, they say silence is the kill to all noise. I wouldn't say that in this case.
No, I think it would do him wonders, but again, I'm not a lawyer for him to at least make a
Oh, for sure,
statement.
lawyers are in his ear being like, hey, bro, you should not be on this podcast. You should not tour this date. You should not post on TikTok until all this shit blows over. And it
Yeah.
did for about 2, 3 weeks. And then now this is coming out. If I could predict, I think more evidence will come out in a few weeks. And I'd say probably by Christmas time, I think David will be arrested. But of course, as far as court appearances and whatnot and hearings, we'll probably go through the rest of the decade just purely speculating what's going to happen, what has happened, and what kind of sentence David will get, you know. So,
I think that we need to remember at the end of the day that this was a 14-year-old girl who had her life taken away way too soon. I don't care if she was completely uncontrollable. I don't care if she was making all the mistakes in the world. She did not deserve to die, especially like this.
no,
And I hope or whoever, if it was more than one person, did this gets caught. And I hope that they are jailed for eternity, honestly, because this is disgusting. So,
here, 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 here. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in to this dark episode of Hollywood at Night. At a night. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Comment on what your thoughts are on about this case. Comment what you think will happen in the coming months. Comment on what you want us to cover next as far as true crime wise. And whenever new details hit about this case, we will most certainly bring them to you. Even if it's an emergency podcast, we will jump on and give you guys that information. It's your boy, Hollywood AJ, Miss Allie. It was fun. We're out.
bye, guys.